You be looking in all the goddamn rooms, and you fuck around and look in the wrong room and Come here. Is that two kissing?
Andre 3000 and Lauryn Hill are finally opening up about why they disappeared from the industry at the peak of their careers, and it turns out Diddy was involved. I know it sounds crazy, especially for Lauryn Hill since she did her absolute best to avoid Diddy at all costs. But baby, one thing we can all agree on is that Diddy has a way of sneaking himself into everyone's life and completely wrecking it apart. Just like Lauryn, Andre also tried to get away from Diddy, but by the time he realized Diddy was a menace, it was too late. Word on the street is Diddy was trying to get Andre to spread those cheeks open for some life-changing industry favors, but Andre was not having any of it. For the longest time, people have wondered why Andre and Lauryn dipped out of the industry, even though their careers were thriving. Most people just assumed they cashed out big time and decided to disappear before people got too tired of them. Andre, for example, had multiple blockbuster albums and singles that were eating up the charts. His album Stankonia debuted with over 530,000 copies sold in the first week, won the Grammy for Best Rap Album, and produced his blockbuster hit song Ms. Jackson, which peaked one on Billboard Hot 100, as well as winning a Grammy. His follow-up album, Speaker Box the Box Below, was also another hit album, debuting #1 with 510,000 copies sold first week, won a Grammy for Album of the Year, making it the only hip-hop album to do so, right behind Lauryn Hill's Miseducation of Lauryn Hill album, won another Grammy for Best Rap Album, has since been certified Diamond, and produced the hit Hey Ya, which peaked at #1 for 9 weeks. Andre was at the top of his career, but instead of keeping the fire burning, he actually stepped back from making music and went ghost. And as I said before, people thought he left because the success got to his head. But baby, he is finally speaking out, and it turns out that Diddy had a role to play in his disappearance all along. Andre first hinted at this when he revealed that Diddy and some other powerful people in the industry used their fame as an excuse to do some sinister things that he wanted no parts in. He said, and I quote, "The problem with being successful is you can do whatever you do 10 times and no one can stop you. You can easily go down the wrong path and you get into that place. And the thing that brings you out is other people." Around the same time this interview came out, there were rumors circulating around that Andre saw some things when he attended Diddy's parties. And some of these things he saw made him realize that the industry was just not for him. He knew he couldn't indulge in those things, so he quietly stepped out and never looked back. What makes this even wilder is that Andre isn't the only one who's hinted at these industry parties. Katt Williams actually put it on blast way back in 2004 during one of his comedy specials. He claimed he was pressured into showing up at one of these freak-offs, but the moment he walked in and saw what was going down, he was so disgusted that he turned right back around. And here's the kicker. Andre just so happened to be sitting in the audience that night. You can literally see Katt glancing over at him while telling the story, almost like he was low-key checking if Andre would co-sign. Meanwhile, Andre is in the crowd laughing it off. But people swear up and down that the two of them must have chopped it up about this behind the scenes, and Katt used the bit as a way to sneak the truth out in front of everybody.
Be gay in Hollywood, you never expected. They be having these big mansion parties, and the mansion party, the whole mansion is a party, and then it's a separate party in the little rooms. I ain't been famous that goddamn long. I'm excited in a motherfucker to be at the mansion party. You be looking in all the goddamn rooms, and you fuck around and look in the wrong room and Come here.
Now, just like Andre, Lauryn Hill also had a very successful career, but left in the middle of it just to escape Diddy and his dirty antics. Her first and only solo album, Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, debuted #1 with 422,000 copies sold first week, became the first ever hip-hop album to win Album of the Year at the Grammys, won another Grammy for Best Rap Album, has since sold 10 million copies in the US and 20 million worldwide, and popped out the #1 hit single, Doo Wop That Thing, which I still bump to this day. Baby, she was basically the woman version for female rappers, but just like Andre, she hasn't released any more solo albums since and does her best to stay as far away from the industry as she can. As I said earlier, folks also thought she also made some millions and decided to bow out gracefully, but it turns out there was some shady stuff going on behind the scenes involving Diddy that she didn't like. Even though Diddy wasn't posed up with her in pictures, he was still in business with her behind the scenes and she wasn't living for it. You see, Lauryn Hill founded the Refugee Project back in 1996, and it turns out that Diddy was part of the co-founders of that project. The project was a non-profit organization aimed at helping and supporting at-risk urban youth. He wasn't just a co-founder, he was also a trustee, alongside Mariah Carey, Busta Rhymes, and Spike Lee. This was before she even released Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, and since their partnership went well, she decided to get into more business with him behind the scenes, including allowing him to handle some financial and marketing aspects of her career.
Interestingly enough, there were no reports of them having any problems with their business partnerships. In fact, in 2023, 2003, the same year Cassie filed her lawsuit that kickstarted Diddy's downfall, Lauryn and Diddy headlined the Roots Festival.
It wasn't until this festival that people clocked that there was some tension behind the scenes. According to inside sources, despite the fact that they were both set to headline, Lauryn refused to be in the same space with him and actively avoided him in all the meetings they had before and after the festival. Not too long after this, Cassie's lawsuit came out and everything began to add up. People speculated that Diddy had probably messed with Lauryn's career just like he did to all the artists who were ever in business with him. Word on the street is Diddy had her blackballed. Lauryn has never directly confirmed or denied this, but she didn't hold back from calling out her label for never reaching out to her for the possibility of doing a follow-up album. She said she wasn't expecting that kind of treatment from them because of how successful her album was. The wild thing is no one from my label has ever called me and asked, how can we help you make another album ever, did I say ever? Whew! At this point, we can only imagine the number of other artists whose careers Diddy has a hand in destroying. This man was a real menace, and the crazy thing is, if he was not caught up in the mess he's in right now, he would have probably still been destroying other people just because he can. One person said, he probably saw CT and children being SA. These people are disgusting. People need to stop giving these people so much fame and power. Another person said, Lauryn Hill was the complete package. She was unrealistically beautiful, a top-notch rapper and singer. I still can't believe she has so few albums. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about Lauryn and Andre running away from the industry? And do you think Diddy was really behind their decision to stop making music? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.